Hello everyone and welcome to another video here in the channel. Before we start, I want to thank every single one of you because we've just reached the 33,000 subscribers mark. It's a huge milestone for the channel. I'm really happy to be at this point, and we're not stopping. We're gonna keep on going and we're gonna keep on sharing amazing 3D tips, amazing 3D techniques, workflows, everything. Today we're gonna be taking a look at Zbrush. Now, if Zbrush is something that you're just learning and you want to get better at it, not only are we celebrating that we have reached 33,000 subscribers, we're also offering a super huge discount at Udemy. So check this out. Hey guys, I'm here with a great deal for all of you. For the next 5 days, we're gonna be offering a 90% discount in all of our Udemy courses. 90%, guys. This is the lowest we can go for our discounts, and you are going to be learning from industry veterans and experts all of the workflows, techniques, tips and tricks that you want to become a great 3D artist. We have modeling, we have rigging, we have animation, we have sculpting, we have characters, environment, creatures, a little bit of everything. You can get a 90% discount for the next 5 days if you follow the link down here. All of the courses are recorded in real time, so you're not going to miss any part of the process. They include the project files. We have a support line for questions. You can ask questions on the site and we'll be getting back to you as soon as we can. And yeah, we are also offering a free 30-day money-back policy. So if you buy the course and you don't like it, I don't think it's going to happen. If you don't like it for any reason, you get your money back within 30 days of your purchase. No questions asked. You get your money back. So if you want to learn any 3D skill and you want to start this year strong with really good skills, really good fundamentals, make sure to check the link down here. Hurry up. Remember, this offer is only going to be available for 5 days. So join us and become an amazing 3D artist in no time. That's right, guys. For the next 5 days, starting today, February 8th, and until February 12th, we're going to have this massive discount. So if you want to check any of our courses, if you want to learn about Zbrush, Maya, or anything, down here. Now let's jump straight into our Zbrush class for today, and I want to show you a very cool thing. So this is the little guide that we were working on during our live stream. Now a lot of you have been asking me about the live streams, and remember that you can find the live streams if you go to our channel and you look for the videos. Right by the side of the video there's going to be a live section, and you can find the beginning stages of this guy right there. This is a character called a Slurk from Pathfinder. We're playing Pathfinder now. And this character right here is, I'm actually going to 3D print him. So before we do that, as you can see, he has a lot of spikes around his back. And I want to show you a really cool technique that's a little bit more advanced, but I think everyone should be able to follow along. So we're going to talk about something called this guy's right here, the chisel brushes, like the chisel creature and stuff. So the chisel brushes were introduced several versions ago, and they're a really cool and quick way to add details to your character. And the cool thing about this guys right here, as you can see, they're actually displacing the geometry. So they're not alphas, they're actually creating new well, they're not creating new geometry, but they're pushing things in ways that you would normally not get with alphas, such as this scale right here. See how the image is pushing downwards? When I drag and drop it on top of the character, we can create the little guy right there very quickly. So I could very easily just do this and start creating my spikes for this character using the brushes that we already have. But I want to show you how to create your own, because it's a really cool process. So we're going to go to Lightbox and we're going to go to the projects, and there's this miscellaneous folder on your projects. And here we have the brush 3D template, and we have several resolutions. I'm going to go with the highest, or one of the highest ones, which is this 1024. I'm going to double click. I'm not going to save right now. We haven't really done anything. And this is what we have. The most important thing about the chisel brushes is that they need to be built, as you can see up here, on a square grid, because that's how Zbrush analyzes the mesh and makes sure that it's following the proper function and stuff. So I'm going to get rid of dynamic perspective. We don't need it for now. And you can see we have a couple of them. So you can use pretty much any brush that you want. But one of the interesting things here, or one of the things that you need to be careful about, is do not, and I repeat, do not touch the borders. That's why I'm just masking everything there, so that if I make any movement, I'm not actually modifying the borders right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my move brush, and I'm just going to move and drag this up to create the general spike that I want my character to have. So as you can see, these spikes are lacy spikes, so it's going to be something like that. And then now I'm going to go with my clay buildup, which you guys know I love, and I'm going to start playing around with the border, because I want to really fade this in with the skin. I want this spike to feel very organic. Now, there's a couple of like limitations to this thing that we're doing right here. One of them is we can't actually use a Dynamesh. So Dynamesh does not work with this method. We need to use clean subdivisions. This panel right here is actually made out of a really dense, like subdivided mesh. So that means that we might have a couple of issues when like blending things because we don't have the precise resolution. But still a really, really cool way to create this sort of elements. So I'm going to start adding this sort of like skin folds going on top. And then I'm going to go with my Damien standard. By the way, I created this new like interface to help me with my tablet. If you guys want me to share it, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to drop a link for everyone. So I'm doing this right here. These are the most common brushes that I use. And I'm just going with my Damien standard, just like creating the separation between the spike and the skin folds. I'm not gonna go with clay buildup again. Just add more like random volume around it. As you can see, I'm not making this symmetric because I want to have a little bit more like natural variation. That's it. And then I'm gonna smooth out, right? Because we don't want all of this detail to be there. Organic modeling is a lot about like layering things. So you're gonna be smoothing and erasing, kind of erasing things and then like building them up again. I'm gonna go back here with my Damien standard. Now I'm gonna start working on more sort of like skin effects right here. Now remember that we can always just do a basic shape here, and later on when we're sculpting, we can subdivide a couple more times. We can Dynamesh this. Like this is like I rarely use it as a final sort of like asset. It's more like a way to start in this case a spike. So let me go to my clay build. I'm gonna change this to a round alpha. Round alphas tend to give a little bit more natural looks because it's a little bit more organic, you know. There we go. It's a little bit of a bumpiness there. So it looks like the spike coming out of the skin, giving us this really, really cool effect. And as you can see, I'm fading it out towards like a flat area. We can even grab like the trim dynamic and just help this fade a little bit better so that when we blend this with the character, it blends a little bit nicer. But you can actually go all the way until the very border of the edge. Just do not move or touch the edge. That's important. I'm going to grab my trim dynamic, and I don't want this to be soft. Wait, do I not have trim dynamic there? Yeah, I have it. There we go. So I'm going to grab my trim dynamic, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start like hammering the spike a little bit. I've mentioned this before, but in games and in 3D printing, when you have things that are super, super thin, you can get into issues. So I like to have this sort of like hammered, faceted look. Not only does it make it a little bit easier to identify and to model when painting, if you use a technique that's called dry brushing, the dry brush technique hits the edges very easily. So all of this like edges that I'm creating there are going to be hit by the element, and they're going to highlight the object very, very nicely. Look for, if you guys are interested in mini painting, there's a lot of really cool techniques, and the dry brushing technique is a really easy one to learn, and you get really, really cool results. So there we go. We got this spike right there. Not bad. It looks very, very cool. Now let's make a couple of variations, because this is one of the beauties about this kind of brushes. You can create as many different like 3D brushes as you want and have them in a single like brush collection. By the way, I'm gonna be giving away this brush for free. I'm gonna leave the link down here. It's gonna be a Gumroad link, but you can get that one from there. So yeah, and you can create a brush made out of multiple different variations and types of spikes, so that when you're like using it on your character, you can change between one and another. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna duplicate this guy, hide the first one, and this is gonna be the first variation. And the first variation, I kind of want like a broken spike. So again, I'm gonna use my trim dynamic to start like pushing this guys down. Really flatten this guy like this. And make it look like a chipped spike, right? Something like this. There we go. Now that we have this, we can do another one. So let's duplicate this one, and I'm gonna make let's hide this. I'm gonna make it separate, like damage one. And this one, for instance, could be like cracked or something. So I'm gonna go Damien standard. I'm gonna go really low on my element. And I'm gonna crack this like horn a little bit more. We can then grab like our clay buildup. I can just start carving in a little bit of extra details there. A really, really, really damaged horn. So we have like three different like interpretations, right, of the horn. Let's do trim dynamic again. Just flatten that out. There we go. And that's it. So now that we have this tree, guys, right here, this is what you're gonna do. This is where the technical stuff comes into play. You're gonna go to your brushes and you're gonna select the Chisel 3D brush, which is like the basic brush, which has a lot of these things right here. Once we have this, you're gonna go to brush and you're gonna clone this. So we're gonna say clone. It's gonna create the Chisel 3D _1. That's fine. You can go back to any other, well, actually, no, you need to go to that one right here, which is Chisel 3D 1. And once you have that, you open the brush palettes, and down here, there's this button called Create Multi-Alpha Brush. You click that one right there. What's going to happen is you're going to get a new brush that's going to replace all of the other tools with this new 3 subdivisions that you have right here. So as you can see now, if I select that brush, I'm going to have access to the spikes right there. Okay, so let me open the frog. There we go. And as you can see, if I go to this new alpha that I have right here, let's change brushes and let's go back to this one. You can see we have our 3 spikes right here. And at any point, I can just drag and drop one of the spikes, change to the other one, drag and drop, change to the other one, drag and drop. And look how nice that looks. Like now we're able to start replicating this sort of stuff. For instance, I can go back and I can like move it around, like rotate it a little bit, change to this one. Same stuff, like move it around. And this is geometry, right? Like this is new geometry that we're creating. It doesn't have as much resolution because we're just pulling and pushing the vertices, but it's gonna give us a really, really nice starting point for the whole thing. So this Chisel 3D brush, now what we can do is we can just save this. So I'm gonna say brush, save as you can see, it's gonna be saved as a CBP, a brush preset. And I'm gonna change this name. I'm gonna call this let's call this like cartoon or stylized _ horns. There we go. So now, of course, if I close a Zbrush, this brush is not saved because we haven't saved it like the default brushes. But if I open it up again, I can just load this brush. And at any point, I can just bring this guy right here. So for instance, I can see that on the ankle, he has a couple spikes as well. And we can use this to generate the small thing. Now, you might say, well, what could we do to get more resolution? Of course, increase the dynamic resolution right there. So if we increase our dynamic resolution, let me go back for this. There we go. If we increase the dynamic resolution, once we plug in the horns, as you can see, we're going to get a little bit more definition and detail. So the more polygons you have, or the closer you are to the target level that you had when you were creating these things right here, the better it's going to be. Okay. So yeah, I really like this, guys, my friends. Like, I think it's a very quick and easy way to start creating this sort of elements. You're not going to have to waste as much time sculpting each specific element. You can change and create like different variations, which is of course super, super helpful. And imagine like building a small library of these things. As long as you keep working on different assets, by the end of like a month or a year, you're going to have so many different ways to do this. So yeah, that's it, guys. Not much that I can add right now for this guy. I'm going to stop the video right here. Again, I'm going to leave the links for this assets on the description. And I'll be seeing you back on tomorrow. Let me know if you want me to continue. I'm thinking about continuing this on next Monday on the live stream, but let me know in the comments if you want me to finish on the videos, and I can finish like the detailing process, and we can talk a little bit about 3D printing. Other than that, we have a couple of other projects ongoing, such as Japanese stuff. Our contest is still ongoing, the Whimsical Creator Contest, and we have portfolio review this upcoming weekend. So make sure to check all of those things, all of those events that we have here in the channel. Make sure to stay tuned to all of the news, and if you don't want to miss a thing, then you better go down here and check the subscribe button, the little bell icon, leave us a like, leave us a comment, and help us grow and achieve the next milestone. The next milestone is going to be 35,000 subscribers. So we're 2,000 subscribers away. Maybe we'll get there by the end of March. That would be great. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you back on the next video. Bye-bye.